I'm back. All right, let's get it going. So I was at Fort Jackson for basic training in South Carolina. I was there for 10 weeks. The very beginning of it was significantly harder than the very last part. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, but it was still going to be a little bit difficult. The hardest part for me was just standing around and waiting, because that was one of the forms of punishment. Standing around was probably the worst part.
So they would just have you stand?
Stand for hours.
As a punishment?
As a punishment. No talking, no anything. All right, so one of the common misconceptions is that drill sergeants, or at least the way I've seen them, is they're actually a lot nicer than they're perceived in movies. I've had drill sergeants that are actually super nice, almost like mentors, and it's just the complete opposite of how they're just depicted. And in the movies, they're depicted as monsters and stuff like that, but it's just not true. They're just doing their job. So I'm done with basic. I still got to go to advanced training next summer, but it was just it was like you could breathe again. During basic, you're just tied up. It was super hard to just function as a normal human would. But after you graduate, you walk down that field, it's just oh my God, it's just a relief. I got back home last Thursday. No, 2 Thursdays ago. Yeah. And just walking around the airport, I was in my Army issued uniform as my combat uniform, and I was just hearing thank you for my service, and this thank yous everywhere I went. I'd get on a plane, I'd hear thank you from a flight attendant, I'd hear thank you from a pilot. It was almost overwhelming. I just felt really good about it. I did a hard thing, and I was just getting just treated with a bit of respect for it. It was really nice. Being back home, it was just stressful. I knew I'd have to get back to school and back to football, and it was just I just have to keep being on that grind 24/7 as soon as I get back. So coming back to school, during basic training, everything was dumbed down to the very lowest levels of intelligence. Anybody could understand it. Coming back to school, I actually have to use a little bit more of my head, and it's just been a little bit difficult turning that bit on. While you're at basic, they say you should just one strategy is just zone out, complete brain fog, just do what you're told. And that's just how I've been functioning until I came back to school. I had to start using my head again. So that was a little difficult. Yeah, so being back with the team, they all knew where I was going. They all knew oh man, we need Mo. So that's that was a relief. I got welcomed back. They all wanted to see me. They all were waiting for this Friday for me to play again. So I'm gonna see if I can just show up for them.
Do you think going to basic has helped you with football?
All right, no, I don't think it did help me at all. I actually lost a lot of weight. I didn't lose a lot of weight. I lost 5 pounds, but I lost a lot of strength just from not sleeping and not eating right. It didn't help me with football in that sense, but it did make me mentally tough enough for just knowing if I see a bigger opponent, oh, okay, this guy's nothing. I'm just gonna get right by him or whatever it is. Man, I just want to go out there. I just want to hit people. That's I was telling all my coaches hey, I'm just fiending for some contact. That's all. and that's all I'm gonna go into. I'm gonna go into that with that mentality. I'm just gonna be the most physical and dominant player on that field. Man, I know me. I just need to follow my plays, and that's all, because that's what I struggle with the most, is just remembering my plays. But if I can do that, we should dominate Saugus. Shout out Braedon Almas. He's a really cool guy.
Brings, there's the sweep, jet sweep. Allard, if he makes the cut, could get in the end zone. Oh, touchdown!
Dives to the pylon, touchdown.
Colin Allard, great run, using the space allotted him as they come with an inside handoff. Allard with the second touchdown. Cats take the 13-8 lead.
Drops back, looks, fires to Colin Allard, and it is caught!
It's wide open.
And Colin Allard, touchdown! It's in there! Touchdown, Wildcats! There's some lights on the Wildcats! There's the energy we need!
Touchdown, Allard! And the Cats will take a 19-8 lead.
Let's go, Horn.
I'm Colin Allard. I'm a junior captain, and I play receiver and safety.
I would say Colin is one of the top 2 or 3 most important players in our program. Without him on the back end on defense, I'm not sure we could function. He's the quarterback of the defense. He knows what everybody's supposed to do. He gets us lined up. He gets everything communicated to everybody on the back end. He's been playing since he was a freshman in one shape or form or another. And that experience carries weight.
How's it wide receiver feel to you this year?
I definitely have more fun with it than I've ever had with quarterback. I kind of hate is a strong word for quarterback, because when I would do good, I would like it, but I hated it. Like when anything would go wrong, I'd hate it. So I think I like it a lot better.
He wasn't looking good at QB, so I'm glad he's there. He's looking pretty good.
I feel like he was never really a quarterback. We just never really had one, so we kind of had to be there. But because he played wide receiver in middle school when I first played with them. But I think it's definitely a better fit for him. Because when he was quarterback, he was never really throwing the ball a lot. He was more running, handing off.
It's looking good. He's got the dance moves back behind you right now.
What's it like having him at wideout instead of quarterback?
I think it's actually a good fit. I don't think Mark would have been able to do receiver. He can, and he can certainly step back in at quarterback. He's got a good arm.
From what I've seen, it looks pretty good. I mean, he's an athlete. He plays 3 sports, so everyone knows it. But I think it's pretty easy for him to make the transition.
He just knows football, knows the game. Very, very smart kid. Love having him around. And like I said, we'd be lost without him on defense. He really, really kind of gets us going there. I don't know how we would replace him, so he's not allowed to get hurt. I think he feels more comfortable. He's an older guy now. I think he feels like he's a leader, and he should, you know. He's a captain. He's as a junior, which is a pretty big honor. But he's definitely, I've seen more of him being outgoing and laughing and having fun this year, and I feel it's just more of a comfortability factor. Even in my time coaching him in lacrosse, he was always kind of the younger, quiet young guy. He was a good player, but he would just kind of back away and wasn't as confident. He's definitely confident and very much in what he's doing and how he's doing it, and he's really good about pushing and supporting the younger kids too, which is awesome to see.
Who would you least trust to be president of the United States?
Least trust? Probably gonna go off level again. I don't think I'd trust his decisions. Most trust, probably I think Matten would be a good one. I think he's pretty subtle. Had some good decisions back in there.
Pretty even keeled.
Yeah.
Who would I trust the most? Shane Tassoni. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah.
Who do you think would be the worst president ever?
Colin Allard.
That's probably a good choice.
Yeah, yeah. Or Dwyer. Those two.
Least trust would be like JP. He just like, his speech would be like, let's get sexy. And then I'd probably trust like LC. LC would be, I feel like would be a good president. He's a smart kid.
To be honest, we're not like the smartest team. So the best president would be hard. Yeah, one of the leaders maybe. I don't know, one of the captains. And least, probably JP.
Don't want him having the nuclear codes?
No. Not trusting him with anything.
Least trust JP. Most trust Max Bagtaz.
I would say Timmy would could be president, and then JP.
Least, I'm going with JP. Most, honestly, I would say Timmy Watson.
I would want Timmy to be president because, yeah, he's just smart and he's pretty funny. And least trusted, probably Josue.
Most trust would probably be Max. Definitely Max. And least trust would be JP.
Least, I feel like Mark. I don't know. Make some decisions. I don't know. I feel like Dwyer could be a good president, but I don't think he'd win. I don't think he'd get that much votes, but I feel like he'd be good.
I'd most trust. Oh, there's not too many I would. Maybe Max. I think he's pretty smart and not too unserious. And least trust, I'd probably say Josue. I don't trust him doing anything, to be honest.
Least trust JP. Most trust probably like Noah maybe. I don't know.
Seems pretty even.
Yeah.
Who would I most trust? Probably Noah, Matt, and least trust JP or Josue.
Least trust, I think Theo, because he did a bad job our class president. And the best one, I'll probably give it to Watson. Maybe, yeah. Watson seems like a good guy, yeah.
None of them. None.
Probably Colin Allard would be the most trustworthy.
Who would be the worst person to be president of the United States on the team?
Definitely Lex.
Yeah, Lex.
Definitely Lex.
And Dominic Bonanno, football king, Colin Allard, and at least Jack Sear for Vin Band, then most in band, Dean Champa.
Least trust is for Bush. He's got a lot going on. He doesn't need to be president again. And then most trust, I want to say who's responsible. We're all unique in our own ways. I might just say Dean, just because he's the band president, and so he's already shown that he wants to be in a leadership role, so probably him.
Evander for president. Least trust, Ben for president.
I would probably trust Spencer Bagtaz the most. Least, probably Declan Savage.
I'd probably, actually, I feel like Bella would be a good president. She'd take charge in a good way. And who
would you least trust to be president?
Honestly, I don't know. Come back to me, you can go.
Probably to be president, probably either Erin or Bella. And then not to be president, probably Bella Cooper.
Yeah.
See, Dean's the president of the band, so I think he already knows what he's doing, so I think he could be a good president. And probably Sam, trumpet, little Sam. I don't know if he could make enough decisions.
I would trust me the most.
I would trust
be the
either
best.
you or Erin Murray.
Yeah, I would be the best at it.
Who was the person you're like, they could not be in charge of the country? I don't want them having nuclear codes.
See, most answers are Emma Churchello.
Yeah.
She couldn't be here today.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
I think Dean or Spencer would make a good president. And yeah, I feel like Sam would be bad with decision making, so I don't think that would go very well.
I'm gonna be narcissistic. I would be the best president. The worst president, I'm probably gonna say the same thing people already said, but Declan. So.
Wow, you're not putting Jimmy at the bottom of that.
No, Jimmy would be good. Jimmy would have some good decisions. Some mostly bad, but some good.
I'd probably trust Dean the most. He's one of the most responsible. I'd probably least trust probably Declan again.
I'm trying to think. Most trust, like out of everybody, but I have to go with Catherine, and she's pretty, like, useful, and she knows what she's doing most of the time compared to the rest of us. And least trust, I'd probably have to go with the Bush.
You are not the only person who said that. I'm shocked you didn't go Jimmy for any of them.
Oh, I forgot he's in the band. No, yeah, Jimmy. He caused the collapse of the global economy in record time.
Hi, I'm Mary Almas. I'm a senior, and I'm an alternate. I like to call myself alternate captain. That's like a self-appointed role, but I am a flyer. I'm there in case someone gets hurt. So I follow Lily King throughout the routine, so I know exactly what she does, just in case anything ever happens to her, which we hope it doesn't. But I'm there in case we need a backup. So I've danced since I was 2.5, maybe 3. I did theater in middle school, and then the last production I did was Shrek, and it got shut down due to COVID. I did karate. I got a black belt in 8th grade, and my mom was like, all right, you got to find something to do in high school, and I really wanted to do theater, but the environment that theater created for me wasn't the best. So she was like, well, cheer might be good. And I was like, well, maybe, but I had such stereotypes in my head that I really didn't want to do it. So I was like, well, what about track? Well, what about field hockey? I was trying to find any excuse in the book to not do it. And she was like, tryouts are this day. I think you should go. So I went. I was mortified. I had no idea what was going on. It was nothing what I expected it to be. I just thought I stood on a sideline, shook some pom-poms, shouted some words, and I was so wrong. And I've been opened up to this whole new competitive world that I've learned to love a lot.
She picked up cheer in high school, and I can tell she really enjoys it, and she's obviously very passionate about it. But I think if she had to make the choice between cheer or dance, everyone knows what she's picking. I'm Braedon Almas. I'm a Bridgewater State University wrestler, roll bears. I'm a rapper, and I'm a new McDonald's employee. When she started cheering, I was so weird about it because, I didn't think she was going to, so I was like, oh, I'm going to have team dinners, I'm going to have this, this, and this, and then all of a sudden my mom's like, oh, yeah, well, Mary's going to be there, too, and I'm like, oh. So it was everything we were at, I was kind of just
half in with my friends and half making sure she was fine. It was a worry thing because I wanted her to be okay, and cheer was new for her, so it was just like I got to keep an eye on her while paying attention to the game. So it was weird, but it took me about a year to get used to for sure.
Epilepsy is a seizure disorder. I had Chiari malformation type 1, I believe.
Which basically your brain sits here. My sister's brain was pressured on her spine. It was in the back of her head. So her brain was essentially falling out of the back of her head. And they told me she needed to have brain surgery.
We found that when I was about 9. And I had never really been able to see or hear properly as a child. Like my mom said, as a baby, I would just sit and like they would like shake a toy in front of my face and I wouldn't go and grab it.
And then when we found out she had epilepsy, I didn't know what it meant. And I don't think anyone in my family really knew what it meant. My dad and my mom were kind of just like, epilepsy? Like, I think they might have had a better understanding than me, but they were like, oh, she has seizures. And I'm like, she's never had like a seizure like where, you know, people convulse, foam at the mouth, and like, I don't know a better word than kind of shake. But I did notice she would kind of just sit there and space out. And apparently she was having like 1 to 200, or I don't know the exact number, little seizures a day.
Oh, they used to say Mary's off in her own world. Mary's off in her own world. I was having like hundreds of seizures every single day. We went to a neurologist. She was like, yeah, your daughter's like having a seizure right now. Like I can see it. And my mom was like, what? No, she's not. She's like, yeah, she is. Seizures aren't something like you see, always like you see in a movie. Like you think of a seizure, you think of someone like foaming at the mouth and their eyes rolling to the back of their head and they're like shaking. I just like stare off into space. Like sometimes it has been more intense. There was only one time I've ever needed to use emergency medication, and that was a bigger seizure. But the only reason I used to have bigger seizures was because I was on the wrong medicine.
This is kind of funny, but sometimes she falls, or she used to when she was younger because she didn't have really great motor control, and she'd fall and I'd hear it. And my mom always jokes about this because I would just yell, I got her, and I'd walk up and I'd get her, I'd pick her up, like under her arms, I'd lift her and I'd get her sitting down, I'd get her what she needed. She'd be fine a few minutes later.
Epilepsy is something that I'm hoping will go away. It's been under control really nicely. I'm hoping it goes away. It's affected like my ability to like drive, and like I try not to make it out to be like my personality, because I had it on me like it was an identity for a long time because I didn't really know who I was without it. And I think as I've gotten older, it's been a lot easier to like come away from that, especially doing more and more activities. Actually, cheer helps me with that because every time I like do some like a handspring or a back tuck, it resets my brain. So the more I do that, the more it helps. And it might be a little bit, but it's still like worth something to me.
Who is more athletic, you or Braedon?
I feel like we have different levels of athleticism.
I'm going to get into this. My mom says she's more athletic than me. My mom's like, she can dance and leap across stage. I'm like, I can pick people up over my head and slam them on their neck.
He's a wrestler. I'm not going to wrestle anybody. You're not going to catch me being Hannah Bryson. She's very talented. I could never do what she does. He could not survive a ballet class. If I tried to put him on in like point shoes or tap shoes, I think he'd probably like collapse onto the floor.
I'm stronger, I'm faster, I'm more powerful. She may be more flexible than me, I'll give her that. She's definitely more flexible. But if you look at the 5 pillars of strength, I believe it's strength, speed, flexibility, power, and I forget the other one. Do you know what the other one is? Strength, speed, flexibility, power, and control. I have more of all of those. I'm stronger.
If you scaled it by weight.
If we scaled it by weight, I'd be stronger.
Still?
I swear, pound for pound, I'm stronger than her.
Pound for pound.
Yeah, I always say I could make it through a dance class, you couldn't make it through a wrestling practice.
He wouldn't know how to do a paradiddle, and that's probably like the first thing you learn in basic beginner tap. Like he wouldn't be able to dance. He could probably outrun me. We both run because we had to for karate, and then we kind of both picked it up. We like it. I don't run as much anymore. I probably should do that. But he could outrun me. He could probably do like a typical like athlete test, but if I tried to get him to do anything we do in dance, like on a daily basis that I'm there in class, I'm not sure how well he'd manage.
I will say I think she's capable of more than what people think about her. I feel like a lot of people think that she's just the girl who grew up with problems, the girl who has all these medical things, and I think in a sense people think she's like odd or weird for it, and it's like we're all weird, we're all odd in our own way. The people that like discriminate against her for that and like make fun of her for that, like don't think she doesn't know about it. Don't think I don't know about it. Everyone knows. Just I don't know. She's kind of like grow up a little bit. Just there's no need to be rude to a person about medical issues, something they can't control. So that'd be my final thought.
This is Dominic Juicy. I'm here with WCTV. I'm back again with Coach Turner. Coach, how are we doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. So, how's this week been in terms of training?
Good. We got after it in practice this week. Kind of got back to the basics, so hopefully it pays off for the kids tonight.
What are the keys to tonight's game?
Got to get stops on defense. Got to be able to run the ball on offense. We haven't been able to run it so far this year, so that's a big key for us to be able to run the ball.
All right, well, best of luck to you guys.
Thank you.
got somebody open.
Level for the touchdown!
What a beautiful ball by quarterback, who's normally a wide receiver, Colin Allard, finding Connor Lovell in stride, and that's a big touchdown for the Wildcats.